So the rumors were true. You are the human myth, the alien queen, exclaimed in. Captain Arya Voss leaned over the viewport of the human starship Endeavour, her eyes tracing the distant glow of the galactic core. For years, humanity had heard tales, rumors whispered from one alien world to another, about the humans' strange and remarkable nature. Some called them reckless, others called them bold. But no one had ever truly known what made humans different, until now. Arya's crew was tense. The ship hummed with quiet energy as it maneuvered closer to the heart of the galaxy, where the majestic empire of the Zelari thrived. Their ships glowed with translucent energy, floating effortlessly in the cosmic sea. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved in perfect harmony, a display of elegance and power that humans had only ever seen in simulations. "Captain," said Lieutenant Ryan, stepping close. His voice carried a mix of excitement and unease. "Sensors show the Zelari Palace is unlike anything we've ever recorded. Their energy shields are—" He paused, shaking his head in disbelief. "It's like the stars themselves built this place." Arya smiled faintly, her hand resting on the railing of the bridge. "That's why we're here, Lieutenant. We don't just visit, we learn, we adapt, we show them what humans are capable of." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "I hope the rumors are true. I've been hearing them all my life. Humans, they say, are a myth to aliens. They can survive anywhere, solve impossible problems, and—" His words stopped as the ship's alarms softly chimed. A voice, calm yet commanding, spoke through the intercom. "Unknown vessel approaching the Zelari Palace." "Identify yourselves immediately," Arya straightened. "This is Captain Arya Voss of the United Earth Exploration Corps. We come in peace and request an audience with Queen Sarilith." A pause filled the room, thick with tension. Then the intercom buzzed again. "Captain Voss, the rumors were true. You are expected." The words sent a ripple of disbelief through the crew. Expected? Could it really be that the legendary queen of the Zelari knew of humans and awaited their arrival? The Endeavour slowly descended into the palace's orbit. From the bridge, the crew watched as the structure revealed itself. A sprawling lattice of crystal and light, suspended in zero gravity, glowing like a second sun. Its architecture was unlike anything humans had ever seen. It seemed alive, moving with the rhythm of the galaxy itself. Ships and energy tendrils floated around it as if the palace were breathing. Ryan whispered almost to himself, "It's beautiful." Arya didn't respond immediately. Her eyes remained fixed on the grand entrance of the palace. "Remember, everyone," she said finally, her voice steady, "we are human. We adapt, we learn, and we will show them why humans are a force in the galaxy." The landing sequence began. Magnetic clamps extended from the palace's docking bay, gently pulling the Endeavour into place. The airlock opened with a hiss, and a holographic platform extended toward the ship. Through the translucent walkway, Arya saw figures moving, tall, elegant beings with flowing forms and shimmering skin, moving gracefully as though every motion was part of a dance. At the end of the walkway, a figure stepped forward, Queen Sarilith. She was taller than most humans, her presence commanding yet strangely serene. Her eyes glowed softly with an inner light, and her robes seemed to ripple with colors that defied description. Arya felt a shiver of awe, not fear, but a deep recognition that this was a being of immense power and wisdom. Sarilith spoke, her voice echoing in the air like a melody. "So, the rumors were true. You are the human myth." Arya paused for a moment, collecting herself. She stepped forward, her posture calm, her voice steady. "I am Captain Arya Voss, representing humanity. We come in peace and we seek dialogue, not conflict." The Queen's eyes narrowed slightly, a gesture that seemed almost like amusement. "Dialogue," she said. "You are the first human I have ever encountered in centuries of listening to the stories of your kind. Many claimed you were clever, resilient, and extraordinary, yet I have always wondered if you were more than myth." Arya smiled faintly. "We are real. And I hope to prove it to you." The walkway extended, and Arya, followed by her crew, stepped into the palace. The interior was breathtaking. Crystal towers rose from the ground like frozen waterfalls, light refracting through every surface. Floating gardens hovered in midair, and streams of glowing energy flowed through channels in the floor and ceiling. It felt alive, almost as if the palace itself were a living organism. The crew's amazement was palpable. Lieutenant Ryan whispered, This is beyond anything I imagined." Arya nodded. "Keep your focus. Observation first, wonder second." Sarilith led them to a chamber that seemed to pulse with energy. Holographic projections of galaxies and star systems swirled around the room. The Queen's attendants remained silent, watching closely as the humans moved. "I have seen many species," Sarilith said, her voice calm, yet carrying the weight of authority. "Most are bound by instinct and routine. Few can think beyond their limitations. Humans, you are different. You create, adapt, and persevere in ways I have rarely witnessed. Yet the question remains, can you truly rise to the challenges that await you here?" Arya straightened. "We have faced challenges before, and we are ready to face more." Sarilith's gaze softened, as if she were studying a rare and precious gem. "You are bold, human. Boldness is rare, but boldness alone does not define a myth." The Queen waved her hand, and a complex alien device appeared in the center of the room. Its purpose was unclear, with spinning rings and glowing nodes that shifted unpredictably. The attendants gave Arya a small nod, as if to say, "This is your first trial." Arya stepped forward cautiously. She examined the device, running her fingers along its surfaces, noting the flow of energy through it. The crew whispered among themselves, unsure of how to interpret the alien technology. Minutes passed, and Arya's mind worked quickly, piecing together patterns and connections. She adjusted certain nodes, tapping into energy flows that resonated with her own understanding of physics and logic. Slowly, the device responded. Rings aligned, lights stabilized, and a soft hum filled the chamber. Sarilith's eyes widened in awe. "Incredible," she murmured. You understand it instinctively. This is not skill alone. This is intuition, creativity, and courage all in one. Humans truly are remarkable." The crew exchanged astonished glances. Lieutenant Ryan muttered, I didn't think anyone could figure that out, let alone her." Arya turned to the Queen. "We are ready for whatever comes next. If your empire wishes to test us, we will rise to the challenge." Sarilith smiled, a gesture both approving and wary. "So the myths were true, but beware, human, the galaxy does not easily accept one like you. Many will envy your presence, and many will wish to test your limits. Still, I am curious to see how far the legend of humanity will go." For the first time, Arya felt a surge of pride, not arrogance, but a deep, grounding sense of purpose. Humanity had arrived in the heart of the galaxy, and they were not merely visitors. They were something more, a force of resilience, creativity, and courage that could inspire even the oldest civilizations. As the Endeavor crew settled into the palace, they could feel the weight of expectation. Stories, myths, and legends had followed them here, and the eyes of the galaxy were upon them. Yet, for all the wonder and pressure, Arya knew one thing clearly: humans would not disappoint. The first step had been taken. The galaxy had acknowledged humanity, and already the adventure was only beginning. Outside the palace, distant stars glittered like watchful eyes. Somewhere in the void, other civilizations stirred, sensing the arrival of the human myth. And within the grand halls of the Zelari Empire, a queen who had seen millennia of history whispered softly, almost to herself, "So, the rumors were true." The chamber hummed with quiet energy, glowing softly as the alien device slowly powered down under Arya's touch. The crew of the Endeavor exchanged wide-eyed glances, still struggling to comprehend how Arya had deciphered what even the Zelari considered complex. Yet the moment of awe was brief. Queen Sarilith's gaze remained sharp, full of unspoken challenge. "You have passed the first test," she said, her voice steady, "but this is only the beginning. To prove your place among the stars, you must face trials that will test every part of your being, mind, body, and spirit. Only then will I know whether humanity is more than myth." Arya straightened. "We accept your challenge. Tell us what we must do." Sarilith waved a hand, and the chamber shifted. Walls dissolved into holographic projections, revealing vast landscapes, each more alien than the last. Mountains of crystal, oceans of liquid light, forests of floating flora, environments that defied human logic and imagination. "These are the arenas of your trial," Sarilith explained. "Each holds a challenge designed to test a quality your species is rumored to possess. You may succeed or fail. Choose carefully how you proceed." Arya glanced at her crew. Lieutenant Ryan looked anxious but determined. Ensign Myra adjusted her gloves, eyes glinting with curiosity. Engineer Kato ran simulations on a small portable device, eager to analyze and adapt. Humans, she realized, thrived in uncertainty, and this was the ultimate test. The first holographic arena appeared, a desert of shimmering crystal sands stretching to the horizon. Sharp energy winds swept across the dunes, and scattered across the sands were alien structures, strange machines that pulsed with light. Arya led her crew forward. "Observe before acting," she advised. "We don't know what these machines do yet." The team spread out, scanning the devices. Some hummed, some vibrated, and some emitted bursts of energy that warped the sand beneath them. Arya crouched beside one, running her hands along its surface. It reacted to her touch, opening a series of panels that revealed a network of glowing symbols. "It's a puzzle," she murmured. "Not physical strength, logic, and timing." Ryan frowned. "But the wind, if it keeps up like this, we won't survive long enough to solve it." Arya nodded. "Then we adapt. We use what we know and what we have." She picked up a reflective panel and angled it, redirecting the energy bursts safely toward another machine. The pulses activated a sequence in the machines, revealing a path through the desert that was invisible to the eye at first glance. As the humans advanced, they encountered obstacles that seemed impossible. Energy storms that twisted reality, crystal formations that shifted when touched, and holographic illusions designed to confuse them. Yet each time, humans adapted. Ryan built a temporary shield using parts from their equipment. Myra deciphered patterns in the illusions, predicting shifts before they happened. Kato modified their portable device to stabilize the energy fields around them. Arya led them with calm determination. "We don't rush. We observe, we plan, we act. That is how humans succeed." By the time they reached the center of the desert arena, the team was exhausted but triumphant. A glowing obelisk rose from the sands, pulsing with light as if acknowledging their victory. When they touched it, the arena dissolved, replaced by another, this one a floating labyrinth of gravity-defying platforms over a swirling void of energy. Saralith's voice echoed around them. "The next trial tests your courage and ingenuity. Many species fear the unknown." "Can you rise above it?" The platforms moved unpredictably. Some rotated, some disappeared when stepped on, and others shot sparks of energy across the void. The crew carefully planned their movements. Arya studied the rhythm of the platforms, noticing subtle cues in the way energy flowed beneath them. "Follow me," she said, confident. "Trust your instincts." One by one, the crew navigated the maze. When Kato nearly slipped off a platform, Arya extended her hand just in time, catching him. Myra discovered a hidden path by observing the shadows cast by the platforms, guiding Ryan safely across. Humans, she realized, thrived not just because they were strong or clever. They worked together, combining knowledge, intuition, and trust. At the center of the labyrinth, they found a small floating sphere glowing with a soft golden light. Arya reached out. The sphere responded to her touch, expanding into a holographic map of the galaxy, highlighting points of conflict and potential alliances. Saralith appeared, observing silently. "You see possibilities where others see only danger. Humans, you are more than myth. Yet your final trial awaits." The last arena was unlike anything they had faced. It was a vast city suspended in midair, teeming with alien life. But the city was in chaos, structures collapsing, energy surges destabilizing the streets, and panicked beings fleeing in every direction. "This is a test of empathy," Saralith explained. "Many species can survive the physical or mental challenges, but only a human can inspire hope, unite, and overcome despair." "What will you do?" Arya's mind raced. They could rush to save as many beings as possible, but the city was vast. They needed a plan. "Split into teams," she ordered. "Observe first, then act. Focus on saving those in immediate danger while finding ways to stabilize the energy flows." Ryan and Myra took to the northern districts, rescuing stranded citizens from collapsing buildings. Kato worked to reroute unstable energy, improvising solutions based on patterns he had seen in their previous trials. Arya moved through the city, helping where needed, offering guidance and reassurance. Throughout the chaos, humans did what they did best. They adapted. They solved problems not by brute force, but by thinking, collaborating, and acting with courage and care. Slowly, the city stabilized, and the citizens began to trust the humans, following their guidance to safety. Saralith watched from above, her eyes wide with astonishment. "Remarkable," she whispered. "You save not only yourselves but others. You inspire, you lead. This is the human spirit." When the city finally calmed, the arena dissolved once more, leaving the humans standing in a glowing chamber. Their clothes were torn, their faces marked with exhaustion, but their eyes shone with determination and pride. "You have passed all trials," Sarilith announced. "Few species could endure what you have faced. Few could solve puzzles beyond their understanding, navigate impossible paths, or inspire hope and despair. Humans, you are truly extraordinary," Arya bowed slightly. "We are grateful for the opportunity. We only do what we must. Survival, adaptation, and courage are in our nature." Sarilith approached, her expression thoughtful. "I have seen civilizations rise and fall, but humanity, you are different. I will not call you myth any longer. You are real and you are remarkable. Yet the galaxy will challenge you further. Prepare yourselves, for your legend is only beginning." The humans returned to the Endeavor, exhausted but triumphant. They had faced the impossible and emerged stronger, more confident, and more aware of their unique qualities. For the first time, the galaxy truly recognized humanity, not as a rumor, not as a myth, but as a species capable of inspiring awe and respect across the stars. As the crew settled in, Arya looked out at the galaxy beyond. Stars shimmered like silent witnesses to their triumph. She knew this was only the beginning. Challenges would grow and enemies would appear, but humanity had proven one thing: their courage, intelligence, and adaptability were unmatched. They were more than survivalists. They were innovators, leaders, and symbols of hope. And somewhere in the luminous palace, Queen Sarilith whispered once more, almost reverently, "The human myth is real, and it will shape the galaxy." The humans had barely returned to the Endeavor after completing the trials when alarms echoed through the palace. Red lights pulsed in warning, and the hum of energy intensified. Lieutenant Ryan rushed to the control panel, his fingers flying over the console. "Captain, multiple unidentified fleets detected at the edge of the system. They're closing in fast." Arya straightened, her mind sharp despite exhaustion. "Show me." The main viewport revealed dozens of ships moving in formation, dark and angular against the backdrop of the glowing galaxy. They carried the insignias of multiple alien civilizations. Arya's stomach tightened. These were no ordinary visitors. They were coordinated, professional, and armed for war. "They've heard of us," Arya said quietly. "They've heard the stories about humanity. They don't want humans to rise to become a symbol, and now they've come to challenge it." Ryan swallowed nervously. "Do we have the numbers to fight them?" Arya shook her head. "Not conventionally, but we don't fight like anyone else." She glanced at her crew. "Prepare for a defensive strategy, and remember, adaptability is our greatest weapon." The aliens' approach was relentless. Massive energy beams and shields shimmered around their vessels, and scouts darted ahead, scanning for weaknesses. Arya had to think fast. She studied the battlefield, noting asteroid clusters and spatial anomalies nearby. "We can use the environment," she said, pointing to a swirling nebula on the outskirts of the system. "It can mask our movements and disrupt their sensors. Kato set a course. Ryan prepped the defense systems. Myra monitor communications." Within minutes, the Endeavor slipped into the nebula, its hull absorbing the radiation and energy fluctuations. The alien fleet slowed, struggling to track the human ship. The crew worked like a single organism, each member anticipating the other's moves. "Captain, they're adjusting," Ryan warned. "They've realized the nebula is interfering with their sensors." "Good," Arya said. "Let them waste their time while we gather information. We'll turn their strategy against them." As they moved deeper into the nebula, Arya's mind raced. These fleets were formidable, but humans had one advantage no one else possessed: unpredictability. The aliens expected conventional tactics, straightforward attacks, overwhelming numbers, rigid formations. Humans, however, thrived on improvisation, adaptability, and unconventional thinking. "Initiate diversion protocols," Arya ordered. "We'll create multiple false targets. Let them waste their firepower while we prepare our countermeasures." Kato activated a series of holographic decoys, each mimicking the Endeavor's signature and movement patterns. Energy pulses reflected off the nebula's particles, creating the illusion of dozens of ships weaving through the haze. The alien fleets fired, their beams scattering harmlessly into the clouds of gas and light. Myra's voice rang out over the comms. "Captain, I've intercepted their tactical communications. They're surprised by our maneuvers. Some are arguing among themselves." "This is our chance to act," Arya nodded. "Exactly. We'll strike at the core of their formation. Kato, prepare the energy disruptor. Ryan, ready the navigation thrusters. On my mark." The humans executed their plan with precision. The energy disruptor unleashed a pulse that temporarily disabled the alien ship's shields, while the Endeavor zipped through the nebula with incredible agility. Using the nebula's natural energy currents, Arya led the humans in a series of unexpected maneuvers, striking the enemy fleet in ways they could not predict. Even as they fought, Arya took moments to observe the enemy. They were organized, intelligent, and relentless, but rigid. Every move they made was calculated, leaving little room for improvisation. Humans, on the other hand, adapted instinctively, reacting in real time to situations that the aliens had not prepared for. The tide began to turn. Alien ships faltered as they attempted to counter the humans' unconventional tactics. Some retreated, others collided with asteroids or each other in their confusion. The Endeavor emerged from the nebula unscathed, moving faster and striking with precision, while the alien fleet struggled to regroup. "Captain," Ryan said, "we've disrupted their formation, but they're still strong. They won't give up easily." Arya's eyes narrowed. "They underestimate us. That's their mistake. We don't have to destroy them all. We only need to survive and prove we are not to be trifled with." Just then, a massive alien battleship emerged from the nebula's edge, larger than anything the humans had faced before. Its hull glowed with energy and weapons bristled along its surface. It was clear this was the fleet's command ship. Saralith's voice came over the comms, calm yet tinged with concern. "Captain Voss, I warned you the galaxy would test you. This is the test of leadership. Show them what humanity is capable of." Arya felt a surge of determination. "Understood, Your Majesty, we will not fail." The human crew sprang into action. Kato redirected energy from the ship's engines to bolster the disruptor, while Ryan guided the ship in tight, unpredictable arcs, making it almost impossible for the alien battleship to target them effectively. Myra monitored enemy communications, predicting their next moves and providing crucial guidance. Arya herself coordinated the strategy, blending logic, instinct, and experience. She issued commands with confidence, adjusting the plan as the situation evolved. Humans had survived impossible odds before, and they would do so again. The battle reached its peak when the command ship fired a concentrated energy beam directly at the Endeavor. Time seemed to slow as Arya calculated the trajectory, the beam, and their position. With a sudden, precise maneuver, she guided the ship through a narrow energy stream in the nebula, the beam grazing past and missing them by mere meters. The enemy fleet faltered again, their attacks growing erratic. The humans seized the opportunity. Using a combination of energy pulses, decoy maneuvers, and precise strikes, they forced the alien ships to retreat. One by one, the fleets pulled back, unable to predict or counter the humans' ingenuity. Finally, the battlefield fell silent. The Endeavor floated in space, battered but intact. The alien fleets had withdrawn, leaving humanity victorious, not through sheer strength, but through strategy, creativity, and courage. The crew erupted in relief and quiet celebration. Arya allowed herself a small smile, though her mind remained sharp. "We did it," she said, "but this is only the beginning. The galaxy has noticed us now. More challenges will come." Saralith's voice returned, filled with admiration. "Captain Voss, your actions today have proven what I suspected all along. Humans are not merely survivors. You are innovators, leaders, and a force that can inspire even the oldest civilizations. Your myth is now a reality, and your legend has begun to shape the future of the galaxy." Arya nodded, feeling the weight of her responsibility. "We will continue to rise to the challenges, Your Majesty. Humanity is not afraid of the unknown. We thrive in it." The Queen's image shimmered on the comms. "Good, but remember, Captain, admiration often breeds envy. Not all will welcome your presence. Prepare yourselves, for the galaxy will continue to test you." The crew of the Endeavor understood this well. Their reputation had spread like wildfire, and not everyone would view humanity as a symbol of hope. Some would fear them, others would challenge them, and a few would seek to destroy what they could not control. Yet even in the face of this knowledge, Arya felt a deep sense of pride. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they would face them again. The galaxy was vast, mysterious, and dangerous, but humans were relentless. They adapted, they endured, and they triumphed where others faltered. As the Endeavor moved through the star-filled void, Arya reflected on the events of the day. The trials of the Zelari Palace had prepared them for more than puzzles and physical tests. They had forged a crew capable of facing any challenge with ingenuity, courage, and unity. Ryan approached her quietly. "Captain, do you think we can handle what comes next?" Arya looked out at the stars, her eyes steady and confident. "We don't just handle it, Lieutenant. We rise above it. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us legendary." And somewhere in the shadows of the retreating alien fleets, commanders whispered among themselves. Tales of the human ship and its extraordinary crew spread quickly. One phrase echoed across the void. "The humans, they are not to be underestimated." The galaxy had taken notice. Humanity's myth had become reality, and the story of their rise was only beginning. The Endeavor drifted in the silent void, the stars glimmering like distant lanterns in the darkness. Captain Arya Voss stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the galaxy ahead. Reports had arrived from distant systems. An alien superweapon, capable of erasing entire civilizations, was being activated. The weapon, a massive orbital station bristling with energy arrays, had been built by a coalition envious and fearful of humanity's rising reputation. Lieutenant Ryan approached, his voice tense. "Captain, intelligence confirms it. If it goes online, countless worlds will be destroyed, and the coalition intends to use it against us first." Arya's eyes narrowed. "Then we have no choice. We can't just survive, we must stop it." "Humanity doesn't run from danger, we face it. Head on." Engineer Kato joined them, tapping rapidly on his console. "The superweapon isn't just massive, it's sophisticated. Shields, energy fields, defense drones, any direct attack will fail. Conventional tactics won't work." Arya nodded, her mind already racing through possibilities. "Then we fight differently. We use what humans have always excelled at: creativity, unpredictability, and unity. We find a weakness and we strike." The crew moved into action. Myra monitored enemy communications, intercepting signals and noting patterns in the superweapon's defense system. "Captain," she said, "the shield arrays cycle every 73 seconds. There's a small window, brief but exploitable." Arya's mind raced. "Good. Kato, can we generate a pulse that disrupts the shields just long enough to slip through?" Kato's eyes lit up with determination. "I think so. It will be risky, but it can work if we synchronize with the shield's cycle perfectly." Ryan stepped closer. "And the drones?" "Distract them," Arya said. "We'll create a diversion. The humans' greatest advantage is human ingenuity. We'll make them chase shadows while we go for the heart." The plan was daring, nearly impossible, but Arya's crew had faced the impossible before. And humans thrived in situations where adaptability and quick thinking were the difference between survival and failure. The Endeavor approached the weapon's outer perimeter, cloaked by the dense debris of a nearby asteroid field. Kato activated the disruptor, a pulse of concentrated energy that shimmered through the ship. For 73 seconds, the massive shields flickered, creating a narrow corridor to the station's core. "Now," Arya ordered. The ship surged forward, weaving through the debris and dodging automated defense drones. Energy beams zipped past, narrowly missing the hull. Myra guided the team with precise calculations, predicting the drones' movements and guiding the ship through the chaos. At the core of the superweapon, a massive energy reactor pulsed with destructive power. The station's control systems glowed like a miniature sun. Arya studied the patterns, noting the flow of energy through the arrays. "Kato," she said, "can we overload the primary reactor by redirecting energy from the secondary conduits?" Kato's fingers flew over the console. "Yes, but it's delicate. One wrong move and the entire station could detonate. We need perfect timing." Arya nodded. "That's the human way. Let's do it." The crew coordinated with precision. Kato rerouted energy, Myra monitored structural integrity, Ryan navigated through the dense defense field, and Arya oversaw the operation, making split-second adjustments. For moments, time felt suspended, every action critical, every second a test of nerves. Then the pulse began. Energy surged through the reactor, destabilizing the superweapon's core. The station trembled, alarms blaring, defense drones spinning in confusion. Arya gritted her teeth. "Hold it steady, just a little longer." The crew held their positions, unwavering. The human mind, Arya realized, was capable of extraordinary focus under pressure. Creativity and courage combined in ways no machine could predict. Finally, the energy reactor overloaded, a controlled burst radiating through the station. shutting down its weapons and disabling its shields. The alien coalition's fleets watched in disbelief. Their superweapon, the pinnacle of their power, had been neutralized by a single human ship. Even from a distance, Queen Seralith's voice came over the comms, filled with awe. "Captain Voss, humanity has done the impossible. You have not only survived, you have shaped the outcome of a galaxy-threatening event." Arya allowed herself a small smile, though her heart still pounded. "It's never impossible," she said quietly. "It's just a challenge we haven't solved yet." The alien fleets hesitated. Their command ships attempted to regroup, but the confidence that had carried them quickly eroded. Human ingenuity, combined with courage and rapid adaptation, had proven unpredictable and overwhelming. Slowly, the fleets withdrew, unable to counter a species that defied every expectation. In the aftermath, the Endeavor floated above the deactivated superweapon, the crew exhausted but triumphant. The station, once a symbol of fear and destruction, now lay inert, a testament to human resolve. Arya surveyed the damage, her mind already turning to the next steps. "We've survived this," she said, her voice calm but firm. "But this is only the beginning. Humanity is now a force that cannot be ignored. Others will test us, they will challenge us, and we will rise." Ryan let out a deep breath. "Captain, that was incredible. I didn't think we could actually pull it off." Arya shook her head. "It wasn't just me, it was all of us. That's what humans do. We work together, we adapt, and we never give up. That's why the galaxy has always feared and admired us." Kato leaned back in his chair, wiping sweat from his brow. "We've made history today. Every species watching this now knows humanity is not to be trifled with." Myra smiled, eyes bright with determination. "And it's not just about survival. We've shown that intelligence, creativity, and courage can defeat even the greatest of threats." The crew's unity and ingenuity had not only saved countless lives, but also reshaped the galaxy's understanding of humanity. Rumors of the human myth had grown into undeniable truth. Other civilizations, previously hesitant or dismissive, now watched with awe and respect. Seralith's voice came again, filled with admiration and a hint of pride. "Captain Voss, the humans have done what few species could even imagine. You have faced impossible odds, outsmarted and outmaneuvered forces that sought to destroy you, and emerged victorious. You are not a myth, you are the embodiment of hope, courage, and intelligence." Arya looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility settle upon her shoulders. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Humanity has always faced challenges. We learn, we adapt, and we rise." "That is who we are," the Queen's expression softened. "Indeed. But remember this, Captain, admiration brings attention, and attention often brings envy. Many will seek to test you, to challenge you. Humanity must remain vigilant even as it inspires the galaxy." Arya nodded, her resolve unwavering. "We will, but we are ready. Humans do not cower, we do not retreat. We face what comes with courage, creativity, and unity. That is our strength. That is our legacy." As the Endeavor prepared to depart, Arya reflected on the trials they had faced. The palace, the alien fleets, the superweapon. Each challenge had revealed a different aspect of humanity: intelligence, courage, adaptability, and the ability to inspire hope. Humans were more than survivors. They were innovators, leaders, and a force that reshaped the galaxy around them. The crew moved with quiet satisfaction, knowing they had accomplished something extraordinary. They had faced the ultimate test, and in doing so had proven the truth of the human myth. Yet Arya knew the story was far from over. The galaxy was vast, filled with unknown civilizations, unexplored regions, and challenges that had yet to appear. And somewhere in the far reaches of space, civilizations whispered of the humans who defied expectation. The legend had grown, reaching even the most distant worlds. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of mystery and opportunity. Arya knew humanity's journey was only beginning. They had proven themselves in the face of unimaginable danger, and now the galaxy would never forget their name. "Prepare the ship," she said, her voice steady. "We have more to explore, more to learn, and more to prove. Humanity's story is just beginning, and we will shape the future of the stars." Outside, the galaxy glimmered with possibility, and somewhere in its vast expanse, Queen Seralith watched silently, a smile of wonder on her face. "The human myth is now reality," she whispered. "And it will inspire the galaxy for generations to come." The Endeavor glided silently through the void, its hull still carrying the scars of countless battles, yet shining as a symbol of resilience. Captain Arya Voss stood on the bridge, staring at the swirling galaxies ahead. The galaxy had seen humans rise from rumors to reality, from myth to legend. Yet, despite their victories, Arya knew the journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast, filled with civilizations that watched and judged, inspired and envied. Lieutenant Ryan approached, his expression a mixture of awe and pride. "Captain, I never imagined we'd come this far. Every step we've taken, every challenge we've faced, it feels like the universe itself has been testing us." Arya smiled faintly. "It has, Lieutenant. And we've proven that humans do not just survive. We lead, we innovate, and we inspire. That is who we are." Engineer Kato joined them, a small grin on his face. "It's incredible. Other species feared us, doubted us, even sought to destroy us. Yet here we are. And somehow we've gained allies along the way, species who now trust humanity to act wisely." Myra, standing near the communications console, nodded. "The stories are spreading. Across dozens of star systems, humans are no longer a myth. They are symbols of hope. Leaders look to us for guidance, and the people, they believe we can make a difference." Arya's eyes softened. "Symbols are one thing, but true influence comes from action. We've inspired, yes, but now it's time to ensure that inspiration leads to lasting change." The Endeavour approached a massive space station near the galactic core. The station was the meeting place of the Interstellar Council, a body composed of representatives from countless civilizations. For centuries, humans had been absent from its halls, mentioned only in whispered tales of myth. Now, they were to take their first official seat, a recognition of humanity's growing role in shaping galactic affairs. As the ship docked, Arya felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. This was more than diplomacy. It was a chance to define humanity's place in the cosmos, to prove that their ingenuity, courage, and empathy could reshape entire civilizations. The council chamber was immense, filled with delegates from countless species. Some observed humans with curiosity, others with caution, and a few with open admiration. Queen Sarilith, seated among the most powerful representatives, gave Arya a reassuring nod. "Captain Voss," Sarilith said as Arya stepped forward, "your people have faced the impossible and emerged stronger. You have shown wisdom, courage, and ingenuity. Today you take your place among us not as a myth, but as a real and respected power. Speak for your people." Arya stepped to the center, her voice calm but resonant. "Representatives of the Council, we come not to dominate but to contribute. Humanity has faced countless challenges, learned from them, and emerged stronger. We believe in cooperation, understanding, and the strength that comes from unity. We will offer our knowledge, our creativity, and our courage to protect and guide, not to control, but to help shape a galaxy where every species can thrive." The chamber fell silent. Delegates whispered among themselves, impressed by the clarity and sincerity of her words. Humans were not boasting of power, they were offering partnership. And in a galaxy filled with fear and envy, this was extraordinary. A tall, crystalline being rose from the council floor. Its voice resonated like music, yet carried authority. "Captain Voss speaks with honesty and wisdom. Humans have proven themselves not just in legend, but in action. They adapt, they innovate, and they inspire. Their presence here strengthens the council and the galaxy itself." Applause echoed through the chamber. Arya felt a surge of pride, not for herself, but for her people. Humans had arrived not as conquerors, but as leaders who inspired hope through courage and creativity. As the council session continued, Arya and her crew navigated discussions on interstellar trade, defense strategies, and diplomatic relations. They proposed innovative solutions to age-old problems, offering ideas that combined human practicality with empathy for other species. Delegates listened, debated, and eventually adopted many of their proposals. Humanity's influence was becoming real, tangible, and lasting. After the council, Arya returned to the Endeavour. The crew gathered in the observation deck, watching the galaxies stretch endlessly before them. Stars twinkled like watchful eyes, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the countless possibilities that lay ahead. Ryan spoke quietly, almost to himself. "It's amazing. Humans are no longer whispers in the galaxy. We're recognized, respected, even admired." Arya nodded. "And with recognition comes responsibility. We've proven that humans can face impossible odds, adapt, and overcome. but now we must ensure that this influence is used wisely. Our actions will shape the galaxy for generations. Kato leaned against the railing. Do you think we're ready for that? The galaxy is vast, full of unknowns, Arya smiled. We've faced the unknown before. Each challenge has taught us something new. Humanity thrives not because the universe is safe, but because we adapt, we think, and we act. That is our strength. Myra added, we've inspired hope in others. That matters too. Strength alone is not enough. People need courage, guidance, and vision. We've shown them that humans can provide all three. As the crew reflected on their journey, a soft glow appeared on the observation deck. A message from Queen Seralith flickered to life. Her eyes shone with pride and wonder. Captain Voss, humanity's story has grown beyond my expectations. You have faced the impossible, defeated those who sought to destroy you, and inspired countless civilizations. Your people's courage, creativity, and empathy have left a mark on the galaxy. Remember this, myths become legends not through stories alone, but through action. And humans have done both. Arya replied with respect. Thank you, Your Majesty. Humanity will continue to rise to the challenges ahead, and we will strive to use our strength wisely. We honor the trust you have placed in us. The message ended, leaving the crew in a thoughtful silence. The galaxy stretched before them, full of opportunities, challenges, and mysteries yet to be explored. Arya realized that humanity's journey was not about domination or conquest. It was about proving what a species could achieve through courage, creativity, and unity. In the coming weeks, humans worked alongside allies from countless civilizations, sharing knowledge, building infrastructure, and assisting in diplomatic missions. Their presence became a symbol of hope, innovation, and resilience. Across the galaxy, stories of the human myth, once whispered, became real accounts of bravery, intelligence, and leadership. Back aboard the Endeavor, Arya often walked through the ship's corridors, observing her crew. Each member had contributed to humanity's rise, yet none sought personal glory. They understood that their achievements reflected the collective spirit of humans everywhere, a species capable of adapting, learning, and inspiring. One evening, as the ship drifted near a cluster of newly discovered stars, Ryan approached Arya on the observation deck. Captain, do you think humans will ever stop being a myth? Arya smiled softly. Humans were never a myth. But our story has grown into something greater than any rumor or legend. The galaxy knows we exist, and it knows we are capable. That recognition will never fade because humanity doesn't just survive, we shape the future wherever we go. Kato joined them, leaning against the railing. And we'll keep proving it, right? One challenge at a time? Exactly, Arya replied. Every challenge is an opportunity, every obstacle teaches us something new, and every victory inspires others. That is humanity's gift and its responsibility. Myra gazed out at the stars, a soft smile on her face. It's incredible. We've come so far, and yet the journey is only beginning. Arya placed a hand on the railing, feeling the hum of the ship beneath her. Yes. The journey is endless and the galaxy is vast. But no matter what lies ahead, humans will continue to rise, to adapt, and to inspire. That is our legacy. In the distance, the stars seemed to shimmer brighter, as if acknowledging the truth of her words. Humanity had arrived in the galaxy not as whispers or rumors, but as a real, undeniable force. A species that could face impossible odds, inspire hope, and lead with courage and wisdom. And somewhere in the grand halls of the Zelari Empire, Queen Seralith watched silently, a smile of admiration on her face. The human myth has become a legend, she whispered, and it will inspire the galaxy for generations to come. The Endeavor continued its journey, gliding past stars, nebulae, and distant worlds. Humanity's story was far from complete, but one truth had been established. Humans were not just survivors, not just a myth. They were a force of courage, creativity, and hope, destined to leave a lasting mark on the galaxy. As Arya looked toward the infinite stars, she felt a sense of calm determination. Whatever challenges awaited humanity, she knew they would face them as they always had, together, fearless and unstoppable. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of the human legend, and its light would shine far and wide, inspiring all who dared to dream. Humanity's legacy was only beginning, and the stars themselves seemed to hum with anticipation of the adventures yet to come.